Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Aurorum Kingmaker. Make sure you guys sound, because you guys are actually turned down. You guys sound as good. Hello, hello, hello. This is what, session 6, I think. Woot, woot. So a couple things really quickly. First of all, you can see Tesha's not with us today. He's taking care of important duties over in the country that he lives in. He is a patriot, and his country cannot act without his guidance. So he'll be returning next week. Unfortunately, the responsibilities he has also meant he can't be joining me in California like he was originally supposed to do. Holy crap, bitty bitty bit drop. Thank you so much, Steve. Very much appreciated, sir. And then the other thing is the YouTube video, I realized the files actually got corrupted because the way that the stream just shut down on us last week because I lost power for a second. The files actually got corrupted, so I'll be getting those up later on today before I pack to go to California. So I'll be able to kind of take care of all of them. So if you haven't seen them up yet, that's why. But you're probably not here because you haven't seen them yet. You know. All right, what's up, guys? How you doing? Good?
Good.
I'm good.
I'm going to recap last session for you.
Yeah, please.
You guys are in the basement of the keep. Where you had found the giant's tree of awful.
Yep.
You had thrown a fireball at it, which destroyed many of the little things, but the little things gathered together and were still able to make a swarm. The swarm came pouring towards you, and Rayrin thought, I'm going to run at it. And he did. And he's like, I'm going to use my sword. And he didn't. And that was pretty much the end of his turn.
He didn't actually run at it?
Mm-hmm. And then Valrin hung back and cast a couple spells, and he thinks he's being effective, and it's cute. And then we have literally the last thing that we did at the end of the last session was like, I'm going to use my magic club. And I'm like, awesome. Put these stats... My magic fire stick. Yep. I'm like, awesome. Put these stats on there. I'm going to... Boom! And then that was the end of the session. Oh, yeah. So now that we're caught up, it is literally your turn, one. Why don't we put this over here so you can make sure. Do we still have initiative on here? We do not still have initiative on here, but it doesn't really matter so much. Let me see if we can find out. Scroll back up enough to see what everybody's initiatives were. Oh, here we go.
I think all the monsters were last.
It was Valrin had 11, Rayrin had 8, and one had 6. Nice try. Did it really work out?
I enjoyed that one as well. I was like, right on.
Speaking of going last, 1. 11, and Rayrin was 8. And then we were going to put these in order. Descending, and it was 1's turn. Perfect. There we go. 1, it is your turn, sir. Let's see what you do with your magic fire stick. If I remember, where is this thing? Where is this creature? So I can see its health points. Ah, there it is. Perfect. And where is its stats? Perfect. We are good to go.
Okay. With the might of Rogar, one is going to wave his little fire stick at the plant people.
He sounds so enthused. He's like, I'm totally going to win this fight.
All right, let's see if I have this set up properly. Nope.
Oh, God. I saw the 17 and I was like, yes! And then I remembered how this stupid character sheet works, and it's the 5 that is yours. God, that is so painful. It does that to us.
Yeah.
And like, I wish it could at least be different colored dice or something, you know? God.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's where that sits. So you go rushing at the thing and you swing at it with the club, and it's not that you don't hit some of the buzzing creatures. It's not like you don't hit some of the little things that are jumping around and trying to stab at you with its little prickly hands and its legs and everything. These little twig creatures. It's just that you hit 1 or 2 of them, 3 of them, but there's so many. There's dozens of them. All right.
I'm also just going to yell out as loud as I can I'm just going to yell, Cthulhu, we need you.
Get your lazy ass down here.
Okay, cool. So you yell out for Cthulhu, And you go swinging your club, and unfortunately, it's just you don't hit enough good targets. You hit in small patches instead of big swarms of them. And as I had said beforehand, on the tree's turn, everybody has to make reflex saving throws versus its branches. And if I remember correctly, somebody had actually blown apart one of its branches, reducing everybody's saves by 1. The first save was made by you, Neil. Now it's actually both Neil and Jake. They have to make rolls because both of you guys are in the middle of the room. So both of you can make reflex saves.
That's all right.
All right. Is this your first save, sir? Against them, right?
Yeah, that's my first.
You actually make this save. It's your first save against them, so you actually make the first save. And Rayron, you do as well. So, my apologies.
I said nice.
Okay, so so just to repaint the scene, because of course it was last session to this one. So inside the room that has this massive tree that you guys have blown the fireball into and blew up most of its little creatures and seemingly all the medium-sized creatures and whatnot, because those were all by the base of the tree nurturing it, and you'd throw the fireball to the base of the tree. It also has these massive roots that were kind of like growing through walls and down into the ground and whatnot. These roots had pulled themselves up and started like whipping and thrashing around inside of the room, much like the Whomping Willow from Harry Potter, but not so small and whip-like. These things are massive, almost like clubs or great clubs, like cudgels that are just slamming around, and you guys are ducking or jumping over them as you're coming your way, maybe throwing up a shield to block it, deflect it as it's coming at you. Though you know that you don't have enough strength to literally take the force of the blow. It's more of to kind of give you that extra 2-3 inch edge to not be impacted by it. All right, so that is the tree's turn. That brings us back to the top of initiative, which is Valoran's turn. Now, Valorant, again, is not here, but that doesn't mean he's not in the combat. It just means he's going to stand around picking his ass going, what? What you say? What?
That's fine. Me and Juan are actually used to Valorant doing that in combat.
Yeah.
Wow.
I hope Tesh watches this.
Well, he will, too, because Tesh watches everything. All right, so he still has first level spells left. It says that he still, unless, I'm almost positive he still has first level spells left. It says he still has 2 out of 4. Oh, it's prepared. No, he cast his spells, didn't he? He did. He did.
I'm not sure he did. Are you, Jake? Do you know whether he...
No.
Yeah, and he has some HPs left, though, so, here we go. Also, let's do this. Is this one right here? Bam. Okay, better music for this scene. All right, so unfortunately, I'm pretty sure he cast all of his spells. He cast his magic missiles. Oh, he has his missile flare wand. That's right. So he's using his missile flare wand. Boop. And does it automatically roll the damage for him? It does.
Is that what he cast at the tree last time? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, at the base of the tree trunk.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's how he split one of the things off, right?
Yep, exactly. Yep. And so that is exactly what he's doing. So he's actually using the wand. It's doing the 2d4 plus 2 damage, which is 8 points of force damage. So he does get the wand out, and he does hurl the spell over at the tree. And I believe last time, let me just double check the damage, because again, I'm so sorry for the inconsistency. It's just we had... okay, last time he did only 2... No, that's Rayron. Burning Hands. So he does throw it at the base of it, or another one of the tree's branches, seeing how effective it was last time. And he does hit the thing. You can hear the splitting of the wood. You can see the cracks going up along the branch's length. Unfortunately, it doesn't fully break off the branch with its 8 points of damage. Last time he had done 10 points of damage and broke it off, so you can kind of get an idea of how it functions. But he did actually do a significant amount of damage to the base of that tree. So there's good news there. All right, so after that is actually going to be the swarm's turn. Now, at the beginning of the swarm's turn, it just automatically does damage to anybody that happens to be inside the swarm, which at the moment is only you. What's your face? Rayron. But the swarm starts like moving and ebbing itself around and over towards one as well, because one had rushed up and cracked the thing, and Valorant is through the doorway and backing up more and more and more. And luckily, because magic missile never misses, it doesn't matter that it's passing through a swarm space; it's still going through and hitting the tree on the other side as he's backing up and avoiding combat. So doing damage to you there, sir. The swarm does, what is it? 1d6 damage every turn? Or is it 2d6? I have it right over here.
I hope it's 1d3.
It's 1d6. It's 1d6 damage. Are you ready?
Yeah. This is where we wipe while Tesh is gone. Yeah, sorry, we killed your character. Ooh, sorry.
Oof. 2 points of damage to both of you.
That's alright. I will survive.
Breaks into song. And after it is the 2 points of damage to both of you guys, I need you both to do me a favor. Can you both make me a fortitude saving throw as the poison starts coursing through your veins?
Oh, crap.
Ooh, Rayrin.
Crap.
Would you guys like, anybody like to use any of your pool? You don't know how many is inside your pool as of right now.
With a roll like 6, I don't really think it's going to help.
I don't think it will save us now.
Okay. So both of you guys are going to be taking that poison. That poison damage, if I remember correctly, is at 1d3 points of poison damage. There's 1d2 points of poison damage to your strength. So to you, Jake, we'll do you first. 1d2. And then 2 points. Ouch, that sucks for you, buddy.
The natty 2, baby.
This is for you, Rayrin.
Oh, goddamn.
And I believe, Rayrin, you had actually taken poison last round, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm on.
So
it stacks.
And I believe at last session, if I remember correctly, it said, just so you know, this poison does have a secondary effect, so anybody who is poisoned does have to make another saving throw. Valorant had also taken poison damage last turn. Valorant has to... you made your save last time, didn't you?
I believe I did.
I'm just...
No, I'm on minus... I was on -1 strength, so...
Okay, so both
I'm
you...
I'm sure I made it, but I must have.
Both you and Val have to make another fortitude saving throw against the poison that's still in your veins from last turn. I'll let you go first. Okay, you actually are able to resist it. The pre-existing poison, your body's able to reject and resist. And then we have, this one's going to be Val. Oh, good for him, because he only has a 6 strength right now. All right, cool. So he's able to resist it as well. That brings us back down to Rayrin's turn. So just to remember, paint the scene. Rayrin had rushed in there, up adjacent to the swarm overcoming him as he took out his sword, which is currently covered in loads of electrical kinetic energy from the door that he had absorbed off of beforehand, and took a swing and a miss, blasting out a spell with his other hands, having very minimal effect. One coming in afterwards and whiffing with his club, the swarm overtaking both of you guys and biting and stabbing at each of you. It's your turn, Rayrin. Go.
Rayrin is gonna spell combat for the full turn action. He's gonna swing with the sword first. Schwung, and if I roll like that, I did it.
Woohoo! You critical hit, motherfucker! Oh wait, I can swear in the stream. No wait, I can't swear in the stream because I'm gonna be live in less than a week. So you did it. You critical confirmed. That's amazing. Oh my god, that's amazing. Do you know how amazing this is, Neil?
No.
Do you remember how much damage I said that weapon does?
No, I don't.
You don't? I thought I told you guys.
I don't think you did.
Oh, I told Tesh then when we were helping him level. It does 2d8 extra damage.
Oh my god.
But because you critical hit, that's also doubled.
48, right.
So
where do I...
Roll good now.
Yeah, roll very well.
Where do I click to roll my damage for a crit?
So the short sword? No, the short sword, there's the chance to hit, click the damage button now.
And it will automatic.
It should.
Let's see what that works.
Yep, it does. So 11 points of damage for the critical hit.
And now slash roll
4d8. Yep. Another trick you can do is bracket 48 bracket. Oh my god. Give me a second to double check details.
You ever seen Thor?
So let's see. Hold on. So you did. Let's deal with the 11 first.
31.
Yeah.
That busts through its DR.
And then it's also 6 minus is so it's still sir, with the built-up kinetic energy in your sword and this big creature which still has 2/3 of its health standing there. Describe to us the scene.
So Rarin, he's obviously starts to get swarmed. He puts his arm up as to try and protect his face, and he slashes across with the short sword, and it cuts just a thin line through the swarm. There's not much, and then after half a second, this electrical energy just and all these little swarming guys goes smoking, and they rain down on us in like a smoking fall of ash.
Awesome. Jake, are you seeing Neil's video being a little touchy? Or am I only getting that on my side?
I haven't seen it.
Okay. Okay. No, it's only when you're like leaning around, stuff like that. Cool. So let's so awesome. So you just hit through it, and the electrical energy, almost like a chain lightning, blasts through all of them and turns them to ash, and they're just now dead before you. Oh my God! You needed that now. You needed that really, really badly now. It's also on their turn. You have to make another save, so that's fine. We'll do that in a second. That was your standard. There's your full attack action, actually.
Yep.
What
so
do you do with your spell? Yep.
So he's still standing, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Let's just shoot a little magic missile in there afterwards.
Oh, by the way, to correct what I was saying to you earlier when we were on a call prior to the stream, it does say spell combat. As a full round action, he can make all of his attacks with his melee weapon and a -2 penalty, and cast, quote, any spell from the mage's spell list with a casting time of 1 standard action. If they're attack rolls, they get the penalty, but it's literally any spell. So if I had said something incorrectly when we were looking at options, take that to note. What did you just describe your character doing?
That.
And you had focused on the same branch that had just been taken the flare from the wand damage? Or a different one?
Let me just check, because I might have to. It might have to both be on the same target.
I don't think it does. I do not think it does.
No, cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, so he'll just blast it at the branch.
Awesome. So you blasted the same branch so beforehand when Valorant had used the wand and thrown those 2 missiles through the swarm, and all of a sudden blasting into the branch, the thing kind of like quivering, but still all the branches whipping around. You had taken the moment to finally just kind of like stop, focus, concentrate, and followed up immediately afterwards with a third magic missile, hitting the base of the branch and sending it exploding down at the base, hurling that branch off of its side. Is the tree done? By no means is it done. It still has tons, and I mean like well over a dozen branches whipping around. However, whether or not those branches are super effective in the area where you are, whether or not they carry a lot of force or weight behind them in the area where you are, is the concern. If you had to guess, both of you guys roll me a intelligence check really quickly. I'll roll for Valorant. So it's actually one who is able to kind of like take a moment. He's the super perceptive one, anyways. Is able to take a moment. Is able to take a moment and really just like take in the situation, and you see that there are realistically only 4 more tendrils left of immediate danger coming off of this tree for however it is you choose to approach it. And I say that now because 1, you are in the room, you have your club out in one of your hands. What do you do?
Hit the nearest branch.
So you go rushing towards the tree?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I remember correctly, I described this tree beforehand as being about 100 feet away. And not only is it 100 feet away, because of like the whipping branches and whatnot, it does count as difficult terrain, meaning you move at half speed unless you have something that reduces that. You had already moved in a little bit beforehand, 1, let's call it 10 feet, 90 feet away, moving at half speed. If you double move, you're moving, what's that?
40?
40 feet in. Yeah, 40 feet total in.
Well, if there's no other branches around that I can get to easier, then I guess that's what I'll do.
Perfect. I wasn't sure if you had any abilities that allowed you to move a little bit quicker. That's 1's turn. Rayron, it's now the tree's turn. Those branches are whipping around. And
I do have fast healing, so I am just healing 1 every turn.
Sexy. That's awesome. And could you actually, sir, roll me your reflex save, both of you guys? Oh, Neil, what is going on? It's having its back. We're back in business, boys. All we needed to do is take a week off. You just needed to miss me, and then you get your 20s back. Oh, here we go. Oh my
He's
God.
compensating for Tesh not being here.
Oh, there we go. That's right. That's
You
right.
gotta go plus ultra.
Yeah. To answer the question in chat, Norga, he has an ability where for 1 minute, because I'm pretty sure his what is it called?
Judgment.
Inquisitor ability judgment lasts for 1 minute. Every round he heals 1 point of free healing.
Which
So
is nice.
it is nice, and it's not even an action. It's just like a hot. So you guys both are easily dodging. Well, one of you easily, and the other one, to putting effort in. But dodging over and ducking under these branches as they're whipping about. Valorant, it's your turn. You had moved in about the same distance beforehand, about 10 feet beforehand, to go make your attack.
Yeah, Valorant, it's your turn.
I'm sorry. I was thinking... sorry, too
Well,
many
where's
brands.
Cthulhu's lazy ass too?
Hold on. Give him a second. You had only yelled at him last turn. So, Valorant's actually going to pull his wand, whips it out.
He whips it out, alright.
Where does he have the wand's charges? I thought he had it written down somewhere.
Key flash forward to Tesh next week. The wand has charges?
Ah! I told him how many originally. Give me 1 second to see where he's keeping track of them, because I know he's used it a bunch. One magic missile flare, 2 charges left in it, and I just used 1. Guess what, boys?
You're gonna kill his magic weapon? Oh, that's mean, Scott.
Yeah, but this is emergent, right?
Teach you to vote, bitch.
So I will use his magic weapon for the last charge. Yeesh. Sorry,
Oof.
Tesh. And it was a terrible use of it. Oh my God, I rolled 1s. That's awful. So one of the other branches, he hurls he uses the wands that has a combination of flare, like a big burst of light, and the 2 magic missiles soaring through the air, hit the branch tries to hit it by its base, but unfortunately still hits it like a good several feet from the actual trunk of the tree itself. That brings us to, that monster's dead. Brings us to Rayrin's turn. Rayrin, what do you do?
Oh, I don't really know.
Actually, as that creature, because we were going through that creature's turn, the poison that you had in your veins from last round, it's now having its last, because you guys had failed against the so
Okay.
you, sir, have to make me a, and you fail. So you're going to take strength damage. Ouch. I keep rolling 2s against you. How's your strength looking, buddy?
I'm on a -4, but it doesn't seem to want to go lower than 10. I've got a -4 in temp, but it's still saying 10.
That's very strange. Is it at least applying math correctly? It's not.
I mean, it's not. It's peculiar, right?
Yeah. It's either
I'm seeing it what, -8, -7,
Yeah. So you're
-7.
Yeah, you're at 7 exactly.
Yeah, 7.
The thing's being wonky. For some reason, this character sheet sometimes misbehaves.
Naughty boys. You know why, Scott? It's because it's on your stream.
Yeah, I know. Just see something. Is that updating over here? It's updating on the other character sheet, just so you know. So the reason why I checked is because your loads, you're currently carrying, you're in a heavy load right now. So the issue is when you carry all of your equipment, Neil.
Yeah. I need to drop my backpack, basically.
Correct. So by dropping your backpack, it reduces you by 15.5 pounds, which drops you to 40, 30, and so that puts you down to a medium load.
It would actually drop me possibly lower than that, because I probably have the longsword strapped to the backpack, that sort of thing. But I need to sort that out.
Gotcha. So, but I don't know if you're going to be able to drop down the requisite 28 pounds to get you down to a light load. So more or less we have to assume you're actually working with a medium load. So give me a second to math this out for you really quickly. So yeah, a medium load. What a medium load does for you So let's see. Pathfinder, medium load. So you see your character continuing to run towards the base of the tree. As you're running towards the tree, you're literally just kind of like unstrapping your backpack and dropping on the ground as you go, making your way over towards it. What the medium load ends up doing to you, because it's still on you, is... I'll get to that in a second. Do you just double move?
I mean, I could shoot it with a crossbow, but I feel like that's not very effective against a tree. So yes, I guess I'll move.
Okay, here we go. Your speed is reduced to 20 feet. So your double move is only 20 feet up. So you went from, my apologies, being 10 feet out to being 30 feet out. So you moved out 30 feet, you're 70 feet from the tree. Now it goes to one's turn. One, you don't have any poison in your veins, nothing like that to worry about. You're already, we said moved up 40. So you're going to double move again, getting you up the total of 70 feet, making you only 30 feet from the tree. I imagine putting away this torch, or holding in one hand and getting the axe out in the other hand, getting yourself prepared. Anything else you can do as you're rushing towards the tree as a double action?
No.
Okay. Wasn't sure if you had any swifts or anything like that. It's the tree's turn. Both of you guys have to make your reflex saving throws. Neil, your dex bonus is reduced to a +3. What was it prior?
+4, so it's 16.
So whatever your reflex saving throw is one less right now.
Yep, so 16.
Okay, my apologies. You said that. Or showed that. So Neil, you're actually still, despite the fact that you're weighed down, despite the fact that everything is like bearing down on you and so on, you're actually able to still jump over the branches as they're swinging at you and still duck under them. One, unfortunately, getting deeper and deeper in, is also able to jump over the branches, just barely making it, literally feeling the wind whip past his body, feeling his hair get thrown around and his cloak being moved. He's just barely able to resist getting smashed by one of the branches as he goes. Your goddamn Twitch chat pool of luck. Oh, God, that's funny. And you guys can thank Steve for adding to that pool of luck today. And that brings us to Valorant's turn. Now, Val himself is not foolish enough to go running in there. He knows as little that he can do. He's not foolish enough to really do anything. His spells are too short range, and he's out of all of them. So he just kind of has to play cheerleader. He doesn't even have a crossbow or anything like that to work with. So,
as I said, we're used to it.
And that brings us to Rayron's turn, who's going to double move up, which for him gets us from 30 feet to 50 feet out. So you're 50 feet from the tree, halfway in. That gets us to one's turn. One, because you're double moving, you get up the whole 100 feet. You're probably thinking, oh, can I just charge attack? Unfortunately, because it's rough terrain, you cannot. That is literally your turn. The good news is, because you're next to the tree, you no longer have to make reflex saving throws about the tree whipping around. The bad news is, it's now the tree's turn, and you're immediately adjacent to the tree. And this is when all of a sudden you notice that the tree itself, as you come rushing up to it, running up next to it, that the tree itself actually is covered in these tiny little spikes, much like the spikes of the little fingers of the creatures that are there. And so the whole thing is this like massive, almost like spiked armor, and its hide and whatnot all around it. Now, it's a tree. It can't move much, but it can move. And so it catches you off guard and shifts over towards you. Make me a reflex saving throw.
Oh, it's not against my AC?
Nope.
Damn. Bloody reflex.
Ah! God! So you, it shifts over towards you. You notice those spikes right as you're rushing up towards it because your character is so incredibly perceptive. You come rushing up towards it, you notice them, and you obviously think this is a self-defense mechanism, you know? Let me be prepared, and you are. So as soon as the thing kind of like shimmies just a little bit towards you, so it's meant to catch you off guard, you jump back easily into the area of the tendrils, then back out of the tendril area, keeping you nice and safe.
And I also heal another point.
And Rayron, make me your reflex saving throw.
1 second. Okay. Reflex saving throw.
And you are perfectly safe. Valrin finally is inside the room with, what's his name, Kithul. And the two of them are having a quick little conversation. Kithul and Valrin, because he finally decided to listen to you and come joining in. Unfortunately, Kithul doesn't exactly carry a ranged weapon with him, and he doesn't exactly have attack spells. He just has his quarterstaff. So he stands at the door, at the gate, between here and there, with his staff at the ready, watching, seeing if he needs to come rushing in. He doesn't actually come rushing in yet. It's kind of like in the corner, waiting to rush into the ring. Rayron, you double move. You're now 70 feet up, keeping you 30 feet away from the tree itself. 1 is now you, sir.
I'm bash it with my magic torch.
Oh, torch, not the axe. Okay.
Burn the
The
tree.
torch has fire damage, so
Mm-hmm.
let's see. And it's magic, so it gives me an extra +1 to maybe hit it. And I might need that right now.
You might. You actually hit the tree, because hitting a tree is not very difficult. So you actually hit the
Nice.
tree. Do your damage, sir. All right, and that does it's
I think
1d4.
it's three, is it 3 bludgeoning in 1 fire?
We can actually change the way that this works for you. Where's your character sheet? Where are you? 1. I'm gonna change this for you really quickly.
I think you broke my sheet, Scott. I think it's just not updating anything.
Is it under club for you? I know that sheet is being
Yeah, it's
really,
under,
really
it's
dumb.
under club.
1d4 strength, and then what we actually do is we'll, this is technically bludgeoning. Blunt. Like roll up and. This does 1 point of, oh, this one we put fire. So this should work for you now. Why don't you try rolling that damage again?
Yeah, my nothing updates anymore. The sheet is dead.
Yeah, I don't know why. It was doing that last, remember last session it was doing that? It wasn't updating things when people were, I can't remember who it was that was doing it.
You killed it, Scott.
Why is it not applying that? Let me see if I can click it. I mean, that's a good roll, don't get me wrong. Yeah, see, when I clicked it, it applied the... That's a better roll for you. You see what I mean? Try rolling that damage again, see what happens. I'm just making sure we have it applied correctly for you.
Alright.
Really
Where
doesn't
it
matter,
says-
we could just take my roll.
Where it says club, and then I've got the attack and then the damage, am I clicking the 1d4 +3, or am I clicking the bottom one that says +1 +0?
I pressed 1 + 0.
Okay, so if I press that again, then it should roll what you rolled.
Yep,
Yeah.
except less damage. All right,
Yeah.
cool. We'll take your roll. You actually did better than what you originally rolled, which is nice for you. So you actually do the 6
Yeah.
points of bludgeoning plus the 1 point of fire damage, which is absolutely sexy. So you go bash the tree with the club, and obviously hitting a tree with a tree is not going to do any damage. Like you can tell, like there's just not enough force behind your attack because of your weak in strength right now for you to be able to harm this tree this way. However, it does start to catch fire.
Good.
Tree's turn. Val, Ray, if you can make your reflex save. And finally, you
No.
fail a saving throw. Woohoo!
It's gonna knock me out. Yep.
1d6 hits you for a whopping 6 points of damage, throws you off of your feet, and knocking you prone. But it also knocks you unconscious anyways, doesn't it?
Yep, he's -2 bleeding.
Okay, so you're, as you said, -2 and bleeding out. We're gonna have to deal with that in a minute. And that is that turn. So now it's Valoran's turn. Valoran starts freaking out because he sees you on the ground, and he immediately starts to go to like run in there to get you. But then like whoosh, a branch goes whipping past his head, and he realizes perhaps it's not a good idea if he goes in there, because if the DM kills his character when he's not even here to die, that'd be very, very, very unfortunate.
Oh, people are the cruel.
And so what he ends up doing.
Casting compassionate ally on Jake.
is he is going to. Where is it? There we go. He is going to pull out a potion and hand it to Kithul and say, more or less, drink this. Well, you can't really hear the conversation they're having, but more or less, he hands it a potion and hands it to Kithul. Somebody over there can see that, and does that. Let's actually add Kithul into initiative since he finally came down and joined the fun. Kithul will be right here with a 10, because normal people roll double digits. And so Kithul actually grabs the potion, quaffs it, and immediately runs over to a wall and starts climbing up of a wall and on a ceiling and running along that way. As the branches that are in the ground are whipping around on the ground and whatnot, Kithul is actually running on the ceiling and avoiding the branches, having a much easier time making his run that way. I have to remove that from Valorant's character sheet. And after that is going to be, that's Valorant's turn, Kithul's turn, bring us to Rayrin's turn. Rayrin, what I need you to make for me is, I believe it's a fortitude saving throw every round.
You better get this right, Scott.
91, you die. So you actually stabilize yourself.
Okay. That's easy. Go.
It's DC 15 to stabilize yourself, I'm pretty sure. But it doesn't matter because you rolled a 17. So you stabilized. You don't lose any health points. You're just staying at exactly negative whatever you are for
easy.
now. 1, it's your turn.
Okay, so when I hit it with that thing, like even the fire damage, it didn't really do anything, right?
Correct.
Alright, well.
Well, no, the fire did start to catch.
Just put the torch at the bottom of the tree, just like leaning against it, so that the flames will lap up.
Yeah, so I'm going to drop that torch, definitely so it's lent up against the tree, and then I'm going to try attack with my battle axe then.
Absolutely, you can. So you can more or less drop the torch as a free action, but you do so obviously in a strategic way. One of the things I do want to point out is that the light of the torch itself was a typical glowing light of a torch, and it was the reds and the oranges and all that fun stuff that light from a torch usually is. The flame of a torch usually is. As you were bashing against a tree, the edges of it started to become ever so slightly purple, but it seemed as though the magics that you had put onto it by making this a magical weapon, the flames magical, it actually was able to resist whatever thing is causing these lights to become purple, and so the torch is still glowing with the natural colors of the fire. You drop it down to the ground, wield your axe in 2 hands, and make your attack roll, sir.
No.
Unfortunately, you are very, very unlucky with attack rolls. But the really, AC to hit a giant tree is literally a 7.
Hey!
Well. I'll roll some damage on this bad boy.
We know what to do in the future. If we ever have to fight a giant tree, send in the 1.
Alright. 5.
It's just simply that you're not as strong as you used to be. But you do 5 points of damage with your axe. Now, an axe, you see, it hasn't really been hurting these plant creatures. But when you come over to this mildly damaged branch and you take your axe and you cleave into it, you can see the branch starts to fall and become weaker. The tree is whipping around. You don't need to make reflex saves, Rayrin. It's just, unfortunately, a 1d20 chance that you get hit. So slash roll 1d20. If I roll a 1, it hits you. 5% chance of getting randomly hit by the tree. Womp does not hit you. Perfect. It is Valorant's turn. Valorant, unfortunately, is kind of freaking out, not able to do anything. He just starts praying and praying and praying to the martyr. Praying, please, please, help us. We're trying to lift this curse. Kithul is continuing to run over towards your body, making as quick of time as he can. Rayrin, you feel a soft, gentle glow within yourself as you gain aid of the martyr herself, seemingly answering your prayers. Roll me a 1d8 plus 5, sir.
I didn't pray. Damn it. Advanced dice roll. 1d8 plus 5. Nice.
How many? Were you at -5?
-2. That brings me up to 9. Lovely.
Standing up takes half your move. So you stand up, and you're able to continue pushing forward.
Indeed.
You were 30 feet away. You now have 45 feet of move. Half of that is 20. You're 10 feet away.
Cool.
1. It's your turn.
Seeing as the axe was a little bit more effective than the hunk of wood that was burning a little bit, he's going to look at the axe and then look at the tree. He's just going to like nod his head, and then he's just going to hit it again.
Okay.
He's like, rock, paper, scissors. This works, damn it.
It's a hit.
Nine.
Awesome.
Nice.
Neil,
One was a lumberjack in his previous life.
because you're not quite there, I need you to roll me one more reflex saving throw.
God damn.
And so from here, we can kind of just pull it to the scene. So as Rayrin finally makes his way over to the tree, with his sword in hands, using probably the last of his magical energies to cause the sword to get that slight bluish glow for just a moment, creating it, making it a magical weapon as well. Coming up next to you guys are able to stick close to the tree, doing the best you can to avoid its spikes, as it occasionally has just enough energy to shimmy or shuffle ever so slightly, trying to stab you with the. But both of you guys get calling out warnings to each other, sitting on either side of a branch and hacking at it, in unison, like chop, 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 till eventually you're able to break down the actual branches. You then start hacking into the tree itself and taking up the torch and setting the tree on fire. Once the branches, the ones of danger, start to break down, Valrin makes his way in to join you, the guys, as well. He makes his way over, and...
Valrin, you should probably stay out of the room. It's a bit dangerous in here.
No place for a civilian.
Kithel lends assistance as well. And you guys work to break down the tree considerably, including setting it on fire. There is a point in time when you can kind of stand back and just watch the tree burning. It can't move much. Again, it's a freaking tree. It can't move much. But occasionally it quivers, or it shimmies, or it moves ever so slightly. All of its effort, everything that it can do, it can move itself every other round about 5 feet in space. That's the massive amount of distance it can move. But even then, much like a dog on a lead in somebody's yard, you can actually see that even there, it seems to have limitations on how far it can move from what it originally was. You guys easily able to step back and just watch the thing burn. Flames engulfing the whole thing, the air becoming choking smoke, and while obviously you're not sitting here and wanting to inhale the carcinogens, ignoring it to a degree because you want to just watch it burn and enjoy the scene of it. The flames themselves slowly turning purple, and seeming to stop harming the tree. But that's no big deal. You just grab up that torch again, you go over and ignite a new flame, and step back and watch. And so you guys watch this happen. The tree's finally burning down, about an hour's time later on. Burning down low and pretty much down to its base and down to its roots. Do you guys want it to continue to burn?
Yep.
Okay, that I just sneeze. And so you want to bring the tree all the way down to its last. And so the tree's trunk completely gets engulfed, and it's what are they called? The actual roots catch flame as well, and all those are being engulfed as well. And you want the entire thing to just be completely engulfed and destroyed by the fire. Okay? And so that's what you do. You completely destroy the entire tree. It takes not 1 hour, but 3 hours time. Eventually, you guys leave, maybe come back in, check on it, see if there's anything you need to do to help out the situation. I wish I had fans in here. Get more oxygen. It's taking a while. But eventually, the whole tree does burn down, and the flames snuff out. The whole room is filled with smoke, but you can make your way through it with a moistened towel on your face, and notice that with the exception of charred chunks of wood, there's just ash about. This thing had burned very well, far more rapidly than a typical log in a fire would.
Lovely.
Okay.
I guess magic burns well.
And licking your wounds, everybody a bit injured. Where do you guys head off to?
I'm good. I am good.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm surprisingly good as
He's
well.
like, oh.
Yeah, that's true.
I still got a 1 modifier.
We're still the strongest one in the party by far when they're at their max.
So the tree has it completely burned down now.
My apologies.
As the tree, like, is it completely like burnt?
It is, yeah. 3 hours later on,
Okay.
it's completely gone.
Well, one would walk over and kind of just he'd whip it out and piss on the ashes.
Whoa!
Nitrogen is good for soil, as long as it's not too concentrated. Okay, so you piss on the ashes of the tree. What is the rest of the party kind of like thinking to themselves? Well, I guess that's one down, and try to put together the thoughts of what they're going to do next. Why don't we take our first break and we'll come back in just a few minutes, leaving us at the scene of Rayron coming back downstairs to check on the tree because it seems like one was gone for a while, wading his way through the fog to all of a sudden feel a splatter on his shoes and look up to see. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. Everybody, see you soon.